Hey everybody, this is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. Spring is definitely here. The comfreys are starting to bloom. Let's talk about the comfreys. My comfrey giveaway. Many of you did not send me an email. It's TheLowCashHomestead@gmail.com. You guys did not send me an email. If you didn't send me an email to give me an address to mail your prize to, then I can't mail your prize to you. Let's talk about some of the other things we got done. This was a fun part of the thing. Huge stump here. And we used two 55-gallon barrels, cut in half and spread out to make a heat shield. Burnt that thing down to oblivion. I'll have to plow it over and fill the hole in. But that's something we got done here at the Low Cash Homestead. All right, you guys have seen the salad bowls. Look, it's a container, guys. They work. These pots are an Irish potato. These are the potatoes that I had left over from the potato patch. These potatoes here, these are potatoes as well. These are the purple Adirondacks. There's another one of our salad bowls. They work, guys. It's just a giant container. And it's starting to get chilly because we are expecting rain tonight. This area here is where we used our tractor and our moldboard plow to dig in, cut the furrows, and put the potatoes in. All right, this is some of the fun stuff. So we have our garden boxes. You'll notice I used common wood. I used common simply as a cost, simply based on cost. To do this in PT would have cost me 3 times as much, and I would have had to let it air for 2 weeks, then scrub it down with soap and water, and then let it air for another 2 weeks to get the major amount of chemicals off the surface areas that would have leached into the ground. The way we put our cattle panels in is we used a cleated system, just like the box. I built all the boxes component style. So we cut all the pieces, brought them over here, put them together. The cattle panels are held in with a cleat system. Is that cleat going to rot away? Eventually, yes it will. And then we used fence staples to staple it in. The cleat was more for mine and my farmhands' capabilities, just to make it a lot easier for us to install the cattle panels. The boxes are 64 inches apart. That's a little further than I wanted the boxes to be, but the trellis height is just about perfect. Here we ran a string line so that we could line the boxes up. I still need to staple the weed fabric down into the bottom. And what we're gonna do is I'm probably going to figure out my bagger and then cut the grass. And I'm probably gonna put the leaves and the grass and all that other stuff down in the bottom on top of the weed blocker before we order the dirt, because I'm looking at probably about $1,000 in high quality dirt to fill these. As you're walking through the tunnel, even with nothing growing on it, it looks pretty cool. The boxes are 5 feet apart, and the space between boxes this way is 3 feet apart.
Big monster in it?
We're not going to watch Godzilla yet. Those are classic Godzilla movies, those are like Godzilla fights other monsters, Mothra and Rodan. I found that at Dollar General for like $5, and it's a good set of movies. Okay, why is everyone charging out here?
Oh, they're waiting. Oh, yeah, they did.
They're waiting for, they're not supposed to be out here.
Rennie's getting heavy.
Okay, we're gonna go over here.
I'm smoking you.
Kids can run around barefoot like crazy. I can't even touch a floor barefoot. Okay, these are our columnar apple trees. And then what we did is we cut a trench. No, hey guys. It's gonna start raining, get inside. So we cut a trench with the mantis here. And then we did just like we did in every place else. Now these I strung out, which I wanted to do when we planted Yummy Forest. I was just under the gun and was trying to trees, got to get them in. Okay, so we got another row there, starting at the columnar apple and working its way down. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's about 50 feet of swale there. Also over here, columnar apple heads the trench or the swale, and then there's 4 trees that go down there. I'm thinking I don't have another columnar apple, but I'm thinking same distance apart. I might cut another trench. I also want to remove those cedars. Multiple reasons. They're a pain in the butt to work around as far as the lawn goes. And cedar trees grow like madness out here, so I could just cut them down. It wouldn't be really a big deal. I'm not sure if I would go through the hassle of delimbing it for a tree post or something. I will probably just drag it into a pile and light it on fire with some ethanol gel. Okay, let's take a look at some other stuff.
Okay.
All right, we're back inside the cheapo greenhouse, and our spinaches and these Sylvias, which is a true romaine leaf lettuce. You can see they're a little bit bigger by where the window is because the natural water falls in, not just the drip tape. Our giant Caesar is doing fantastic. So everything inside here is doing great. And we are plugged up. All our paperwork is filed, and we are ready to go for our local markets. And that will start on the 4th of May. All right, up here, this is our first asparagus bed. We had a lot of asparagus coming up, and it just poured rain, and they all came up and started going into fern. So what I did is I cut everything down except for a couple one fern per plant inside of this bed. We did the same thing here. These are younger. I cut basically everything except off of these, cut all the ferns out. This bed here, I am not going to touch. I put this bed in last year. I'm gonna have to weed it a little bit, but I put this bed in last year. I'm not gonna prune anything. I'm not gonna clip anything. Here's some of last year's purple passions. And they came up and started going to fern, and we're gonna let them for this year. And then I put asparagus into this box, and we're just starting to see little bits of plant growth inside this box.
I need to go pee.
Well, you have to go potty inside, Katie. Okay, so we're at our POS tractor. We got some soil mix that's left. This is soil mix for the trees. That's nothing real fancy in it. But we use some of our, this is the potting mix that one of the potting mixes that I make. And then this has sage in it. These 3 have sage, and these 3 have sage. So one of them is a broadleaf sage that you would use as an herb, and the other one is the desert sage or the California white sage that you would use for spiritual purposes, you know, for smudging and cleansing and getting rid of juju and bad vibes and all that good stuff that we like to do here at TheLowCashHomestead. Tarp. And then under the other side of the tarp there, we have a soil mix because we're going to try and get some of our microgreens planted and start getting those grown out. So we have, I'll have spinach and lettuce, but I also want to have those microgreens ready for market. And that's just a little bit, it's like 2 weeks. So that's plenty of time. All right, we're in the garage. What we're looking at here is some plywood components and some other stuff that I started pre-making for our chicken tractors. Our chicken tractors will be 32 cubic feet. They're basically square feet. They're going to be basically 4 by 8. And I'll try to continue the video on how I built these as I build them. And then we have our chick starter. And here's the story. I dropped into Orscheln's to pick up a couple of things I couldn't find in another store, and also asked them if I could still pre-order birds, and they were clearancing out birds. So I got 17 production reds for $1 a piece, and then 3 Rhode Island reds for $1 a piece, and then 4 Cornish cross for 50 cents a piece. And the Cornish cross are about half grown, so they'll be able to go out first. But I have 2 chicken tractors, and these are going to be 4 by 8. It's actually going to be they're probably going to be like 97.5 inches because of the plywood, because I'm not cutting these things down. And we're going to use Schedule 40 PVC pipe to make the hoopings and the rails, and I've got some of those parts made. You can see them right here. I got some of those parts made, and then we have an extra sheet of plywood that we set up on our sawhorses with a couple 2-bys under it. Oh, Kate, that's disgusting. God, kids are great, but they're disgusting. Well, go inside and clean your butt. Oh, well. In the mind of a 3-year-old, since her brother can pee anywhere he wants, she can just squat down and do whatever she wants. It's so disgusting. Okay. Anyway, I guess I got to clean that up. And then we'll use this table. This is just set up as a work surface for us to load our microgreens on later, hopefully tonight. I also want to get those. Okay, and then we're back here. We're back here at the cart, and that's basically because I need to try and get these things empty so I can go down and load up the very last load of shiitake logs. I have 2 types that have been inoculated for a good few months now. The 3rd type took a while to get, but I do have it, and I've actually had it for about a week or so, and I need to get it done. So we're going to try and get these empty so I can put the log tarp in there, put the logs in there, and then fill it up with water and get those soaked so that okay, that's enough. Daddy's gonna clean it up. Like I said, I gotta clean it up. Like I said, in the mind of a 3-year-old, if her brother can stand and pee somewhere, she's just at least she didn't crap her pants. So I'm happy about that. And I really don't think that this is gonna be something that well, like I said, guys, my goal as a parent is just to raise kids that are decent people and aren't serial killers. And if homesteading can do that, then I'm going to be good about it. I'm a little bit disturbed that she just pulled her pants down and took a crap on the ground. Okay, I got poop to clean up. You guys have a good day.